Good morning, everyone. We are just about to get started on our very first Facebook video live for Swim Foundations, featuring myself, founder and CEO Nina Gibbs, also a small swim school manager in far northern California, and my sister, both of us trained by our famous mother, Phoebe Natina. Sister Alice Teeters will be joining us from a very large swim school in Austin, Texas. She should be coming on here any moment. We are really excited to be doing this. We tested this last week, and we we were just testing the technology, and we already had a couple people join us. And I said, wait, this isn't the real thing yet. Wait till next week. Okay. I wonder if any of you watching have ever done this. It's pretty cool, but a little bit tricky. You can't exactly join, as I found, yet at the same time. There we go. I have to join or I have to allow people who are viewing to join. That should do it. I'll mention right now too, if you have questions for us, any type of general Q&A about teaching swimming, about working with children, about the water, about pool temperature, about prepping instructors, about training instructors, about running or growing your program, this is the place to be. We can help you out. And feel free to post some questions down below, and I'll try to get to those in the talk today. Come on, Alice. I can't see your request yet. There we go. She's liked, and she wants to be here. Approve. Great. Here's your thumbs. Connecting. Here we
Hey,
go. We made it. Good morning. So when I post this, I'm going to let people know yep, I can hear you. When I post this, I'm going to let people know at what time to come in to start listening, because if they watch it later, like some of you may be watching through this all right now, but if they watch it later, I can tell them come in at minute whatever 1 and join us at that point. But I think we're getting started right here right now at about 8:30, so we're going to go for it. Good morning. I already did a little introduction, but I'll do it again. This is Nina, founder and CEO of Swim Foundations. I am based in far northern California in a city called Redding, where I manage a small swim school during the summer. And on my right, I have my sister, Alice Teeters. She's based in Austin,
hello.
Texas, and manages a gigantic, very large swim school. So today we're going to chat just for a few minutes. We want to keep these short and sweet, about a topic called the Learn to Swim Journey. So we're going to jump right in. If you have any questions for us, this is new, so I'm sure I'll see a comment pop up, but post it in the comment section. We'll try to answer that in the time we have today. If we don't get it today, I'll reply online sometime soon, and then you can always join us next week when we do this again on our Wednesday morning wisdom about swimming chat. So, Alice, good morning.
I like that.
Can you hear me well there? Seems like I'm coming through loud and clear.
Yeah, everything
Okay.
looks great.
Okay. So, the Learn to Swim journey. We have come up with a long list of things we could chat about in regards to teaching swimming, training instructors, running a program, growing a program, starting a swimming teaching program. And I picked this for us to start with as our first topic, the Learn to Swim journey, just because it's an overall kind of general informational kind of piece. So it can relate to anybody. And what I specifically thought about with this was we get questions all the time as swim school managers or private swim instructors about how long does it take my child to learn to swim? You know, a lot of programs give 2-week sessions, like an 8-day, Monday through Thursday, 2-week session in the summertime. And a lot of people who are unfamiliar with the process of learning to swim don't understand it. And so ask that question. Well, will my child be able to swim after 2 weeks? There's so many factors that go into that. How old are they? Do they have experience swimming? Do they know how to take a breath?
And what does it mean to them? What is swimming?
What is learning to swim? Exactly. So it's all over the map, and it takes me about 5 minutes to answer that question usually. So I don't know if that's something you wanted to touch on today, but tell me what the Learn to Swim journey means to you. You can bring in anything from your past experience at different swim schools you've managed and started up to where you are now at Nitro.
Sure. Okay, so I would start with, let's pick the established swim school in answering that question, because I think every swim school is, front desk personnel have to answer those questions when people call in and say, well, how long is this going to take? So first of all, what does it mean to learn to swim? To me, that's independence in the water, in that a little child, really doesn't matter their age, even 9 months, 15 months and older, can they recreate safely? Can they jump in, get their breath, swim around, change directions? Do they have basic principles of undulation with their hands and flutter kick with their feet? So to me, when someone says, oh, they're swimming, I always ask them, okay, they can get their breath, they can find their air. My child has learned to swim. They can jump in, they can breathe, they can change directions, they can swim around and recreate under supervision. And then of course there's learn to swim strokes, a different topic. But for most people that are seeking the life skill and the safety measure of purchasing swim lessons and investing in swim lessons, they want them to be able to breathe. They want them to be able to find air, move around and enjoy the water, so that they can continue their journey into being able to learn strokes and develop in the water, so that they have that life skill for their life. So back to the time frame in answering that question, I would say, I know mom has this down to a science almost with her babies and her toddlers and her 2 to 5 range. She kind of has it mapped out about how long it takes, but that's her method.
And we're going to touch on that in another session. We might even do it the next session, where we talk about kind of the emotional journey of a child within that 2-week period. We've seen it over and over. We can tell people about it. I'm sure they've seen it. Once we talk about it, they'll start to recognize it too. Other teachers will.
Yeah. So, body type, as far as answering that question, being able to answer, because it is almost a 5-minute explanation. In answering that question, you're talking about body type. You could go Ayurvedic on people with this answer, because there's very airtight torsos. There are children that are very heavy boned and they're just heavy in the water. Dense.
And if you're just joining us, the question we're answering right now is what we get a lot. How long is it going to take my child to learn to swim? And we're talking about the fact that it's a journey. And after you finish these thoughts, I'm going to talk about how it's a progression. Yeah. So you got body type, density, willingness, right?
Willingness.
Separation from parents, how well they're mentally prepared, emotionally prepared.
Yeah. And their swimming plan, what they are purchasing, what they are investing in. In my scenario, in my swim school out here, it's a swim school. A lot of families, most of our families, enroll for the school year. There are no sessions. So a lot of times you've got children that are swimming once a week. Some of that population swims twice a week. And that's moving throughout their school year, and even some of them all year.
So frequency is a player. How often are
For
they getting
sure.
in the water?
For sure. And then you've got the sessions, which, I see growth and development in both concepts. Sessions, you can really get children over the hump or through a method, through a stage of development in a session where they're doing Monday through Thursday for 2 weeks or whatever that might mean. But then I also see that continuity, that longevity where children are coming for months, swimming all throughout their school year. And I often will look at a child in my current swim school and look at them, swim backstroke. And I think back to when they were at a station 1 or 2 learning how to go underwater. And it might not be that great of backstroke, but it's backstroke and they never were able to do that before. So, it does happen. It does take time if people purchase a longer road to the lessons, whereas you can really break through in sessions.
Yeah, it's hard. And that often happens in summer when people have time. And so many of our summer lessons are focused on that, what we're calling right now a learn to swim, which is safe. What did you call it? You said something about
Independence.
independence in the
Recreating.
water. Supervised independence, right? You're never going to leave a child alone, but
Yeah.
supervised independence, that's what it is. So before we close, I just want to touch on the word progression and the fact that that's something strongly woven throughout our approach to teaching swimming at Swim Foundations. And as you have heard, or if you just joined us, obviously we're sisters and we have a mom. And our mother, Phoebe Natina, is the inspiration behind most of what we know in swimming, I would say. And at some point, maybe we can get her on here too to be interviewed, because
That
she has
would be fun.
a lot of wisdom and knowledge to share. And a lot of our training curriculum that we're building at Swim Foundations is based on the fundamentals, the foundational type of teaching that she does. And it's a type of teaching that can enhance any program. A lot of programs have their own curriculum, right? Like at Nitro, your own curriculum,
Absolutely.
your own training for your instructors. But the type of things that we teach will only improve on that and enhance it and make better teachers. So just
It
want
really
to touch on
does.
that. Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand with Nitro coming into typically the stations mirror Swim America. I think that's what they base their curriculum on. It's smart. It's a smart curriculum for the volume of children that move through. But what I've done, and it took a good amount of time, is weaving our concepts, weaving what we've learned from mom, what we've exercised ourselves, weaving very simple methods into the curriculum so that you're developing the skill, not just exercising the skill over and over and over again, but what are you doing to develop that skill? That's the power of what you're introducing here and what you're going to create available for people and for swim schools is that you can take inexperienced part-timers that are coming in to teach your lessons and teach them a methodology and progressions that work, that are sound, and that are proper foundations for a child to be equipped to learn to swim better, to equip them for a safer learn to swim journey.
Right.
So,
And I'll also throw in what we're calling this is the Natina swim teaching progression. So I'll close talking a little bit about that. Learning to swim is a progression. It always blows my mind when people ask that question of how long will it take my child to learn to swim? Because I compare it to a parent walking into a kindergarten class and demanding of the teacher, how long is it going to take my child to learn to read? It's like,
yes,
well, there's no one easy answer for that. I can tell you how we teach your child to read. I can ask you to practice with them at home. What time are you putting in? There are so many components to learning to read. And we don't hire 18-year-olds, part-time seasonal workers to teach our children to read, right? They're certified
right,
teachers. Similar with how our philosophy about teaching swimming, you need a professional to teach your child to swim. If you
absolutely,
really, and that's why our lessons are so expensive, because we are professionals. We've been doing this for a long time, and you get results very quickly. So
yes,
that swim teaching progression can be compared to the learning to read progression, that it's unique
Yes.
for every child, it's important for every child. Swimming is even a life-saving skill that must be learned. Reading must be learned as well, obviously, but you're not going to live or die if you fall into a book or don't read a book, whereas falling
Right.
into the water can create that scenario.
Yes.
So more next week. Join us Wednesday morning. We'll try to be consistent with the 8:30 a.m. Hopefully that works for everybody. We look forward to getting some feedback. We look forward to getting questions. We've got a long list of topics we want to hit on. If you have some ideas, feel free to send them my way. If you want to visit our website, it's in progress. We can go there at swimfoundations.com. The best way to communicate right now is just through Facebook here, through our Facebook page, or to send me an email at hello@swimfoundations.com. We can't wait to get this going, and we look forward to hearing from everybody. And thank you, Alice. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Great job, Nina. Read, write, swim.
Read, write, swim. Okay, bye.
Bye.